Welcome to Kingman, Arizona. It's an old mining town in northwest Arizona. Kingman is also home to historic Route 66 and popular spots such as Mr. D's Diner, antique gas stations, and many gift shops. It also has the former church where actors Clark Gable and Carol Lombard once got married. I'm Jason Rzucidlo, reporting outside the Powerhouse Visitor Center, which houses the world's largest electric vehicle museum. Come along with me as we go for a tour. The Electric Vehicle Museum features antique cars, hot rods, race cars, motorcycles, and even golf carts, all powered by electric motors.
This is the only electric vehicle museum in the world, and there's electric cars are out of the box now. They're not going to be ever, like after the mandates and stuff, but they're not going to disappear. They're here to stay.
Now, I particularly enjoyed the 1930 Detroit electric car. I understand that it was popular with a lot of the wives of Henry Ford, Thomas Edison, some of the other famous people back in the day.
Yeah, I think one of the interesting things I found about those is that most of them had steering from the back seat.
Oh.
And like you mentioned, they were popular with women. And here's another idea I have, a theory, but I think it might be where the term backseat driver came from.
Oh.
They actually drove the car from the back seat, and they had front seats in them, so they could all sit around and have conversations while they're driving.
Oh, wow.
You've got to remember, back then cars didn't go that fast. So
yeah. How fast do you think that goes?
15, 20,
Oh, okay.
nothing, nothing really too fast.
Which is the oldest car in that collection that, people can go look at?
Currently, it's the 1909 Elwell Parker baggage truck.
Okay.
Interesting piece. It's getting harder and harder to find the older vehicles, but we're constantly searching, and hoping maybe we'll get some donations.
Yes, and how about the newest vehicle in the collection right now?
Probably that would be a Toyota RAV4 electric.
Okay.
I also noticed there's a race car that set the land speed record at the Bonneville Salt Flats. Can you tell me more about that one?
Record's been broken now, but that one did 235 miles an hour or something like that.
Okay. So that was from Ohio State University. So how did you obtain that vehicle all the way out in Arizona?
Well, it was on display at the NHRA Motorsports Museum. Larry Fisher passed away last autumn. He was the executive director of the NHRA Motorsports Museum, and he arranged it with the university to have us put it on display there.
Oh, wow.
So they needed some space for another exhibit, and they had a big exhibit coming in.
Now, on the other end of the exhibit, I noticed it would look like a USPS mail truck that was converted to electric, correct?
Correct. Actually, it wasn't converted. It was originally made electric for the Postal Service, but we converted it into an all-wheel drive for a TV show I did.
Okay.
Called Amps, Discovery Channel show.
Oh, wow.
We turned it into a drag racing machine. So,
where was that done?
It has gone over 100 and a quarter, but it was having some mechanical issues, and too much torque was tearing up stuff.
Oh, okay. I also noticed that you have on display Waylon and Willie's golf carts.
Yeah, that was a real luck. I was actually in Croatia when I was surfing the net, and I ran into Willie Nelson's Rolls Royce style golf cart. And when we flew back into the U.S., we got a truck and headed straight to Florida to pick it up. And
Oh, wow.
then within 6 months, surfing the net again, I came across Waylon's Mercedes, a golf cart, and I thought, wow, that will be a great display. Waylon and Willie, you know, we even have the album cover there with it.
Yes, I saw the
And,
two engines there. Yeah.
but there's a lot of history with Waylon, you know, with Arizona. I mean, he passed away in Arizona, but his
Okay.
he still lives there, and you know, when the Big Bopper died on that plane crash, he was supposed to be on that plane.
Oh.
He got pretty depressed and went back out to Arizona.
Now there's also a Arizona State University Indy car style race car I noticed in the corner.
Correct. There used to be a race series
Okay.
where colleges would build similar electric vehicles,
Okay.
race Indy style, and they would allow battery swapping. And they used to see like tire swapping on regular Indy courses. They had it down to a few seconds where they could change a battery pack.
Oh, wow.
Again, and that particular vehicle won.
Now, which vehicle do you think gets the most attention when people come to the museum? Which one do they like the most?
I don't know. I would think they might like something like there's a Sparrow in there,
Uh-huh.
and they're kind of like a little bubble car.
Okay.
I think if I was a kid, I would think that was kind of cool.
I like the bright yellow hot rod. I didn't think that was an electric car. I was surprised.
That was the world's first electric street rod. It was actually on the cover of Street Rod Action, and it was also voted one of the top 10 cars at the 6th annual Good Guys Nationals in Pomona. My partner and I built that when we had a company called Wild Evolutions.
Okay.
And Jerome, Arizona, and we used to build different types of electric in the 90s back then.
Okay. Now, on the other end, I saw a motorcycle, some sort of a motorcycle. Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yeah, it belonged to the late Ed Ramberg. It's called the Kawasaki. And he was turning 11-second ETs with that thing way before other people were even thinking of electric drag racing. You know, he was one of my mentors. So he also had a streamliner that's on display back east, but that one of the first to top 200 miles an hour.
Wow.
And he got to top 200 before he died, and it was one of his goals. So I think,
Now, what would be one car that you're still hoping to add to the collection?
well, of course, we'd love to get a Tesla Roadster sometime. I mean, they're actually all over the place. You know, there's one in outer space right now. So,
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Besides the lunar rover, I think it's the only other electric car in outer space.
Oh, my God. I didn't even.
Many people are probably asking, how do you charge these cars? Well, the exhibit also features 2 charging stations, one from a company called Blink and the other from SoCal Edison that makes it easy to understand.
In 2014, we hosted an International Route 66 festival, and when we hosted that festival, the Historic Electric Vehicle Foundation wanted to participate, but they didn't want to bring the cars to Kingman for just a weekend because they were bringing them in from Washington, California, all over Arizona, Nevada. We had this event space at our visitor center that was being used for quinceañeras, for auctions, different fundraisers, and we decided that we instead would take it and we'd change that space into part of the museum if they wanted to leave them there for a longer period of time. So it is a bit complicated because the city owns the building and owns the museum, but the museum's operated by the Mohave County Historical Society, and these cars are owned by the Historic Electric Vehicle Foundation. So we had to come up with a mutual joint partnership where all 3 parties, could coordinate the operation of the space and So that's been a bit of a challenge, but we all have good relationships between all three of us.
The visitor center and the museum closed for about 2 months due to COVID-19 and orders from Governor Ducey. So I wondered, how has attendance been since the reopening?
So the first week when we opened, we were averaging 50 or 60 people a day. We had some 30 people days, pretty slow. Before all of this, we would average, if you average the whole year out, our busy and our slow times, it was about 650 a day. So during the winter, we'd see maybe 300 people, 400 people, and in the summer we'd see 800 to 1,000. Right now, I think we're up to about 100, 150 a day, except on Fridays, Saturdays, we can see more. We had almost 300 people this last Saturday, but those are also because we've been having a lot of softball tournaments.
The visitor center also offers free electric vehicle charging. The station is located on the side of the building that faces the railroad tracks. A great idea for an electric vehicle museum. For more information about the Electric Vehicle Museum, visit www.hevf.org. Reporting from Kingman, Arizona, I'm Jason Rzucidlo for AmericaJR.com.